I just gotta say, I love that open so much because I'm so jammed. I'm so jazzed from that game. That music just gets me going. Shout out to Ed and the boys.
It gets you into it. Gets you into it. Oh, shout out to Ed, recovering from his, he's doing well right now.
My husband had nose surgery, everyone. He has a very bad deviated septum and it got fixed. And
I was going to start a rumor that he got a BBL or something, but Tessa wouldn't let me on the podcast. So yeah, he did get a deviated septum surgery. Guys, how are we feeling?
Holy.
The Minnesota Frost officially punched their ticket to the Walter Cup final for a second year in a row. And for a second year in a row, they eliminate the Toronto Scepters from contention in 4 games. Let's get going. Minnesota came into the postseason hot. They were not a team to be messed with. And guys, just before we begin, this live version of Jocks and Jills is brought to you by SharkNinja and all 3 of their brands, Shark Beauty, Shark Home, and Ninja Kitchen. They are a proud founding partner of the PWHL, presenting sponsor of the entire 2025 PWHL playoffs, and our presenting sponsor here at Jocks and Jills. Guys, we'll get a member of last year's championship team, the team that punched their ticket to the Walter Cup final tonight, Becky Kellar, on at some point.
She called me out during the broadcast, by the way.
It was such a good moment. I loved when Daniela and Becky said that. When CJ, and maybe let's start with CJ because the chat is buzzing about CJ. We were buzzing about CJ. I honestly screamed when I saw they were starting this must-win game. And I feel like maybe me and you have to eat a little bit of crow on this because we thought there was no way CJ was starting this game.
I didn't. Literally,
and not because they didn't think they were capable. It was because Troy didn't change after those 3 quick ones in game 3. So you and I were like, okay, if he was going to change, he would have changed right there.
Yeah. But was his thought process like, okay, Soupy's looking a little rattled, let her try and fight through this one. If she doesn't have it, let's keep CJ rested.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm just trying to think. I'm being devil's advocate here.
Yeah, no.
My thing was like, oh, snap. If Toronto wins this, who are you going with in game 5?
Right? I don't know. That would have made the decision very, very interesting. But I feel like that's painful to even talk about right now. We could keep talking about that goaltender decision. Before we do that, let's get into our XXL moment of the series presented by Pizza Pizza. Love you, Pizza Pizza. Cheryl Pounder loves you. We're all big fans of you here at Jocks and Gels. We're always ordering Pizza Pizza on game nights with that free delivery code that we'll talk about later. What would you say was the moment of this series, the XXL moment, the biggest moment of this series presented by Pizza Pizza, Tessa?
To have them lock this up. Look, Coin's 2 goals in this game were huge. One, it got the offense going. She got her team going. I talked over this with Buckles. I was like, it's got to be game 2 when Minnesota came out with a massive 5-3 win in Toronto to go home with the series tied, knowing that they were going to have their home fans backing them. Their home fans didn't get to see them win the Walter Cup last year. They wanted their fans to see them close this out. In that game, game 2 in Toronto, Lee Stecklein was a beast in that game.
Yep.
This whole series, but in that game specifically, 2 goals and 1 assist. This game is where Minnesota got their edge, and that's where the series took a turn for me. So that by far, game 2 was a double XL moment of the series. The entirety of game 2, by the way. I'm not picking just one moment. Lee Stecklein played a massive part in that. I'm going to give her a little bit of the double XL pizza because there's lots of pieces in that double XL to go around.
Yeah.
But that game as a team, as a whole, Rooney stepped in. They got their win. Double XL moment. Game 2, baby. 5-3 win, a convincing 5-3 win. Their PP got in on the action. Channel Watkins got in on the action. It was just a good game for them to head home with confidence and excitement to play in front of their home fans. That, for me, was a double XL moment presented by Pizza Pizza.
Love it, Tessa. Yeah, that felt like a big moment. I also, speaking of XXL, I loved what Daniela pointed out on the broadcast tonight. Lee Stecklein, here you're just talking about, longest twig in the PWHL. So I feel like that fits measure up XXL moment.
We gotta get Daniela holding that thing because she's what 5'4" maybe.
I want Kendall to hold it. Like I want to when we have Kendall in here, we got to talk to her about.
We should ask her
when she sees.
I'm messaging Joe right now. We need Kendall with the stick.
Yeah, just while we're wrapping up that Pizza XXL moment. While we're at it, guys, Pizza Pizza has extended their beloved free delivery promotion
Yes.
into the playoffs. That includes all home and away playoff games for the Victoire now and the Ottawa Charge. So Thursday, guys, big game day between those two teams. Sorry, not Thursday. Friday is a big game day between those two teams. Tomorrow is Thursday, and I basically have no idea what day it is outside of what hockey team is playing today. But big one on Friday between the Victoire and the Ottawa Charge. You guys could use code PWHLDEL when ordering online from Pizza Pizza in the app or online. Use that code PWHLDEL at checkout. Minimum $20 spend on game nights to take advantage of the free delivery Pizza Pizza promo. We tell you guys all the time. You know that me and Tessa are always taking advantage
Honey
of the
hot
free
wings,
delivery promo. And now we're going to be
tots.
ordering XXL pizzas. Like, that
I
sounds
know.
pretty good.
I got my Friday neighborhood pizza party coming up, and there's a game on Friday.
Oh,
So, I'm taking full advantage, people.
that works perfect. That works perfect. Okay, let's keep getting into this game. Minnesota punches their ticket to the Walter Cup final.
Yep.
Toronto falls short for a second season in a row. We were talking about the pregame decision. Both of their teams, Tessa, actually opted to change their netminder before this one.
It's wild.
I know.
Am I surprised? No. I mean, Kellar called it last game. She said I would go with Hensley. Rooney didn't look too great. And also maybe Rooney needed a little bit of a break. Like, I'm sure there was a discussion that took place there.
Yeah.
Obviously there was, but I thought great choice by Ken Klee. Clearly he knows his tendies better than anybody. Hensley was a stud. She had a great game, and she didn't see action since game one, really.
Yeah.
So she was awesome. Great choice.
Couple
I think by both
huge
teams.
saves in overtime, man.
Yeah,
Huge saves in overtime.
Both goalies had some big saves. I'm not going to lie. They both showed up and showed out for their team. So kudos to both tendies.
Yeah, that was a crazy spot that CJ's in. I don't, that was wild to me. Our jaws were on the floor when I saw the starting lineup and they were starting, like, just such a crazy position to go into. Their second ever PWHL start, and it happens in a must-win game with your season on the line. Like, I can't imagine that. That's the sort of thing that you write a movie about.
Well, that's the kind of stuff that goalies want.
It is.
That's what makes goalies goalies. And also, don't tell me that team didn't want to get that win for CJ more than anything.
Oh, well, they played, and this is something that we talked about last game too, Tess. We were wondering, last show, we were wondering if we were going to see a ton of offense again, like we did in that insane 12-goal game in game 3, but they locked it down defensively.
Yeah, it took like 5 minutes for anyone to get a shot in the first period. And the first shot was a goal.
You know what I wrote down when that happened? Actually, it was something that you said last game. Playing safe is death. And then I was watching the Leaf game kind of concurrently at the same time, and Kevin Bieksa was saying the same thing about the way the Leafs are playing. Sorry if you're a Toronto sports fan and you're in the chat. If you want to start a support group or something like that, we could talk
be the
about
first
that
to join
as a group after the night. But it felt like both teams were kind of doing that, playing a little bit safe. And I was honestly nervous for both teams because it's not like Minnesota had a chance to jump at the jugular there on Toronto a bit when they were playing safe, and they didn't do that. So they gave Toronto a window.
You know what, though? I think you can call it playing safe, but I thought Toronto did like a really good job at keeping them to the outside again. And it wasn't until, was it the end of the first period or the end of the second? It was the end of the first. Cava really started it for them. She was brought in on a partial break. Jackie, I think there's some clips there that I have as well, a couple Cava chances where she cut in here, took it right to the net. She's like, I'm tired of this.
Yeah.
Like, let's get some chances. And then there was another chance she had right near the end of the period as well to set things up for a team going in where it was a terrible turnover by Woods. However, she's in the right spot, forcing things, just turned and took a shot right in that prime zone. There wasn't a stick handle. There wasn't thinking about anything. It was just like, no, we got to start getting things on net here. We got to test CJ.
Yeah.
6 shots in the first period to me with a goalie in a tough spot, like you said, ain't enough.
Right. And you could see Ken Klee was snapping. He's like, shoot the puck, man. Like, you got to pepper a goalie that hasn't seen pucks in a while.
I will say this, Jackie, I got a clip of CJ playing the puck. This is confidence. This is goaltender confidence. She was out stopping rims behind the net. Look she comes out. It's a perfect tape-to-tape pass, quick breakout. Like, that is great puck play. That's great awareness. I don't know what the conversation was like. But I feel like, honestly, I was in my head, I'm thinking CJ is going to roll tonight. Like, look at this. There was no panic. It was out to stop the puck. And like I said, goalies to leave their net and stop pucks behind the net and know where to dish it or to know. And when she was stopping pucks behind the net, goalies out there or even defenders out there, there is nothing worse when a goalie is out there and kind of panicked and they stop it and they leave it on the boards when the puck is resting on the boards or even just like an inch off it. There is nothing more frustrating as a defender. It's like, man, help me out here. I'd rather you let that thing go.
Yeah.
She was stopping them great, letting it rest perfectly. It was like, in my head, I was thinking, good for her. I mean, there's no other way to enter this game than with a boatload of confidence. And she should be proud of her effort. I think, Toronto should be happy with the effort that CJ put forward. And
oh, yeah. CJ didn't lose in that game.
Not at all.
Gave him every opportunity to win. That's all you can ask for from your starting goalie on any given night.
Yeah.
Yeah. They were great between the pipes tonight. Tough position, like you said, to have to start in a must-win game or second ever PWHL start, but a great performance from CJ. And somehow, Tessa, we've made it 11 minutes and 47 seconds into this live without mentioning the absolute goddess that is Taylor Heisey. Like, she's such a beast out there. I haven't ever sworn on Jocks and Jills yet, but Taylor Heisey like talks her shit and she goes out there and she does her thing night in and night out, specifically in these must-win games. Like, she was playoff MVP for a reason last year, and tonight she steps up when her team needs a goal to win the series. And then she has an amazing post-game interview where she's like, we need to sleep in, a little bit of rest. Like, what a boss.
I want to sleep in.
Me too.
Man, tell my kids not to get up at 6. But you saw her heating up starting in game 2.
Yeah.
Right? And it was like, Toronto, do not let Heisey get warmed up. Just wait till Zumwinkle gets hot. Like, Zummy had some pretty good chances. She actually had the 2-on-1 in OT that kind of started that play. But that led to the goal. But when Heisey's going, she was going all game. I had given her line the factor of the game at one point, and I thought that, that line was leading the charge in a sense that they were like, we know what this game is about and we have to go get it. And they were the ones that were going to go get it. Kelly Panic again, amazing game. Like, in the face-off dot, Minnesota was doing all they could.
They were destroying Toronto in the face-off circle. Had that been the case in the previous 2 games? Like, it didn't jump out at me in the previous 3.
Not as much as this one, to be fair. But I feel like they were winning draws in the first a lot, and it was like off of face-off plays and stuff where they're catching and shooting, but CJ was seeing all of them. They ran this really awesome face-off play, and it put the way that Toronto was defending in a complete blender. Okay. Channel Watkins walks down low, drops it for Heisey. Heisey plays it up to Cava. Cava plays it back to Heisey at the tops of the circles. Heisey walks up to the blue line, drops it to Cava. There's 2 people chasing Cava.
Yeah.
At 3 even. There's 3 people at one point, and then there's like, get it on net. There's no coverage. And Coyne's like a dog on a bone when there's a puck at the front of the net and no one was stopping her, let alone catching her. And she pots it.
Yep. And
it was just like this adjustment that they made in the second period, the last half of the second period, because it took them again forever to get a shot in the second period, Minnesota, that they're just like, all right, enough of this. People in front, shot first mentality. We're not doing this pretty. And 2 of their goals were on deflections. So they clearly made that adjustment perfectly, because it was get people in front, get sticks on pucks, make CJ's life tough, like real tough. And that's a reason why they, fought and clawed their way back into this game, and the way they punched their ticket to the final. And that's what makes this team dangerous, is they can win games pretty, outscoring you 7-5.
So true.
Or you want to drag them into a dogfight, they're down.
They're so gritty.
Heisey loves a dogfight.
Yeah.
Coyne loves getting gritty.
Mouth. Yeah, they all do.
McQuaid loves it. I love it. I love every part of it.
Yeah. Let's keep the reaction going. Let's bring in Becky Kellar, who is calling tonight's game with Daniela Ponticelli. Didn't have to watch 4 overtimes, which is so amazing. I bet she's kind of pumped about that. Let's bring her in now. Becky Kellar, how you doing, girl? No 4 overtimes. Were you feeling like it was a little questionable at points that there was going to be potentially 3 overtimes? Because it was looking a little settled in at some points, Becky.
Yeah, you know what? I said that to Daniela. I go, we're going to double. And she said, these 2 teams haven't had a single period where someone hasn't scored. And I'm like, oh.
Yeah.
Good stat to throw out there. So she's like quite confident, 1 OT. And she was right.
I blame her for mentioning the OT. You said knock on wood, and I'm like, Daniela ruined it. We're going overtime.
But that's been us every game. And it's been me every single game. I'm like, we're going to double overtime, you guys. We're going to double overtime. And I feel like I reversed jinxed it. Like, it's like, if you say it, it won't happen.
Yeah, that's
But
true.
Not tonight.
That's
Not
true.
tonight.
There are different angles you can take at it. Oh, and by the way, Becky, we are live right now, just so you know. There was some confusion about that last night with Cheryl Pounder, but just wanted to confirm so you don't start saying anything crazy.
We hadn't heard. So.
Yeah.
We heard there's a swear jar being implemented in the booth. Was that put in for you guys as well, or is that just in the Montreal series?
We haven't needed it over here.
You guys keep it clean. You guys keep it clean.
We keep it clean.
I got one thing.
But I have my glasses on, so I could see the red dot.
Right.
I got one thing for you, Becky. I'm going to get it out of the way, pal.
All right, let's see it. Yeah, she still has it.
That's impressive.
Now, if you could just bring in Stubby.
I will. I have some old video clips. I'll bring them in. Julia, you can post them. We have some amazing. Yeah, I have them like
great.
a camcorder.
Yeah, you gotta get me those.
Like these guys were good enough. I wanted them to go with swords and bowling pins and
fire.
They were get. You had something else, didn't you? You guys did.
We ordered in bowling pins. We started practicing bowling pins. Yeah. We had like a full act. Yeah. Kim St. Pierre was really good as well. We were trying to drag her into it, but she's a goalie and we didn't want to ruin stuff. And I did not want to be responsible for any part of that.
Right.
But yeah.
I don't know why we got carried away with our warm-ups back in the old day. I feel that they're a little more consistent with.
They would not put up with any of our crap. That is for sure these days. Let's start with this game. Were you surprised on the goaltending choices?
No, not at all. I mean, we all saw the stats, right?
Yeah.
So wasn't sure if Troy would go to CJ because obviously she's been a third string goalie. Even with Toronto 6, she was backup goalie. It's been a long time since she's been a starter. So I think, I text Sammy and I said, give me some goods. And Sammy was great, but she'd said she was 5-0 when she did play with the Toronto 6. So she does win games, but you go back, she only played 5 games. She didn't play any last year. She's just had 1 this year. So I was pretty impressed. I mean, I can't look back at any of those goals and think, oh, she should have had that one. Like, I really don't think she should have any of them.
Yeah, she gave Toronto every opportunity to win tonight. It was really good between the pipes for them. What was the difference for Minnesota to you? Was it the veteran presence stepping up? Was it Taylor Heisey just deciding to call game? Like, what ultimately gave them the edge in this one?
That top line was good tonight, weren't they? I mean, they were good. And honestly, also, everything was going in on them, too. And Hensley shut the door. She made a couple huge saves.
Oh, man, in OT.
Right? Like, OT, end of the third period. Toronto was not playing well in the third, but they got that one chance.
Yep.
And she made the save on Turnbull, the breakaway save. Like, she did what she had to do, and I thought she was really good, too.
Yeah, absolutely. What did you think about the way Minnesota came out to start this game and the way their game progressed through the second and the third?
They're a funny team, aren't they? Like, I feel that they can get outplayed at times, and it's like no big deal. I mean, the Coyne Schofield goal, the Heisey shot, at the almost 10-minute mark in the second was their first shot of the period. They just seem to be able to do that. And they can score. Like they've got some firepower because you'd think, they're not playing well. Toronto's pushing, and then they managed to come back and tie that one up. So it was up and down, eh? Like, and then the third period they took over the game, and I thought, oh, Toronto's clinging.
Especially the last 5 minutes of that third period, I was like, yo, this is all Minnesota. They don't want to. They just want to end this. They want to sleep in like we all do.
Yeah.
I thought it was great. And how about Kendall Coyne? Like this kid, leader extraordinaire on and off the ice. I feel like she does it all. We wanted to have Coyner on post game, but her sitter had to go home. So she's taking care of her kid. Like, what doesn't Kendall Coyne do? And I felt like her 2 goals tonight were massive and very timely, in a sense that, she sparked the offense for the team. But what does a player like that do for a Minnesota Frost team? Because like Kendall's pretty even keeled, and when she scored, it was like emotion, like pure raw emotion.
Doesn't she get that look in her eyes that's just like I'm like determination, mad? I don't know. There was another word I was going to use, but I'm not allowed to swear on the podcast.
You can say pissed off. You can say pissed off.
Oh, I can say that one.
Like, it's just like that's where the line is crossed.
Okay, no Fs. No Fs were given. Maybe that's what it was on her behalf.
That's actually true.
Like I'm just going for it. But she gets that look, and then she just goes. I thought She was using her speed, but it's funny because sometimes your fast players aren't your net, and small are not your net front players. And she goes to the net and takes a bit of a beating. Her anticipation a few times, sometimes that's off camera, so you can't see it necessarily on TV, but you could see the puck's about to change sides. She's net front and she's already jumping. So she gets there first. And not only is she faster than everyone, but like her anticipation is really good as well. So, and she's a leader, right? And she led, and the top line, that whole top line, I thought Heisey had an outstanding game, and that's, want them to step up in big moments.
I'm kind of asking, like, one that's skipping ahead, like, how scary is this Minnesota team for either Montreal or Ottawa looking at them down the barrel? Like, this Minnesota team scares me from a distance right now. They know how to win any type of game.
How do they just peak in playoffs?
They really do.
Barely squeak in, right? 2 years in a row. And then all of a sudden you're like, wow, they're the best team. And then it makes you wonder, how in the world did they not wind up in first or second place in the regular season? Like, that's a little bit astonishing, for me as well. But yeah, they're scary. They've got depth. Their back end can score. We've seen that more than any other team in playoffs. Their fourth line can score when needed, and they did when they were called upon. And Ken Klee will play his bench. So if this Ottawa-Montreal series goes to 5 games, if there's any more overtimes and they're all exhausted, and he's been rolling 4 lines in 60, right? And he did that last year, and I thought that was a big difference in that final series.
Can we switch sides and go to Toronto? What did you think about them having their back up against the wall, about their play, I guess? Was it the best game they could have put on the ice, or were you a little let down?
No, I thought they played fine. I mean, they battled the whole game. They had their chances to win it. We could easily be sitting here saying, hey, Haley Scamora, fourth line, finished it off. All she do is get that puck up just a little bit. I'm sure she's not going to think about it at all. Oh, that's tough. But they had their chances to finish this one and send it back to Toronto.
They did, because it would have been 3-1 if Blair Turnbull would have scored. Was it at the end of the second? It could have been 3-1, but Hensley made a massive save.
Yeah.
And I was like, ooh, but then Minnesota went down and made it 3-2, I believe. Regardless, I was like, that can be a turning point right here. That moment, that save.
Yeah. Well, and that's what I think Hensley did for them. She gave him a couple of those saves, and then they go back down the other end of the ice and score in overtime. Like, especially, I thought she made a couple. Some were scrambly, some were lucky a little bit too, right? They didn't, Turnbull had a puck bounce kind of over her stick in overtime. It's like right there. She doesn't get her stick on it. So, but it's the way the cookie crumbles, right? And this Minnesota team is good. And they took it in 4. It's 3 in a row.
But if they do manage to, let's say, go back-to-back Walter Cup with expansion draft coming, this team's going to look drastically different. Not knowing how they're going to draft or who they might lose or what the rules are going to be for expansion. So do you think they all kind of know that too? Like, this is going to be probably the last time this group will all be together to try and do something historic.
Oh, I'm sure they do. I think every team knows that, right? I'm sure Toronto's sitting in the room right now going like, this is it. This group of girls, like, because nobody knows yet. How many players can you protect? What's the team going to look like? People are losing good players next year for sure, right? Every team's going to lose 4.
Yeah.
Right? 2 to each team. I would imagine that's exactly how it's going to go. So yeah, it is going to be different. So
yeah, and so many good things happen for Toronto tonight too. Like Hannah Miller breaks that long goalless drought. Emma Malte breaks that long goalless drought. Honestly, when Emma got that goal to put them up early in the third, I was thinking, okay, maybe this is where they start to push, but it just wasn't meant to be for Toronto tonight. Do you have a final word maybe on their season, Becky, before we let you go and congratulate you on an amazing season as well, calling games in the P-Dub? Like, we love listening to your call all the time.
Oh, thanks. It's been fun. Like, it's always fun. And you know what? I just love this series this year. Last year we had, the 3, 4, whatever it was, shutouts in these two teams. Like, I like goals, and I laugh because I'm like, I was a stay-at-home defender, but now I'm like, score, everybody go score. Like 7-5 the other night. Come on. Like, that was fun. This one tonight, 4-3. Like, that's a great hockey score. How could you not just enjoy it? People are scoring goals. So I love the battle on both teams. Love the fact that they could put pucks in the net, and it was a lot of fun. And watch out for Minnesota. But honestly, that other series, like, those 2 good teams. Yeah. Who knows?
Yeah. Well, I've thoroughly enjoyed your call, from, getting your play-by-play on the bench when we played together and having some good laughs off ice, to you being our fine master for a while. I feel like, Becky, you've been, it's been awesome watching you come into your new role and owning it like a true champ. So
thanks, guys.
Thanks for the awesome coverage. I'll leave you with a little bit more juggling here.
Oh, I love it.
Nice. The chat has been begging for this, guys. Here's your juggling treat. Tessa juggling.
Oh, sorry.
Bet they didn't.
Sorry.
Oh,
guys,
no.
No, guys, avert your
it's gone.
Do over,
eyes.
do over.
Oh, it's too far?
It's too far.
You know
Sorry,
what? That's
guys.
because they want to see the bowling pins, and you will
It's-
do that before
you know what it
playoffs are
is?
over.
Could you light
I got
something
the
on
lights
fire?
right in my eyes. I got a microphone. I got
that's not-
headphones.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. There's
guys.
wires.
Come on, don't.
Can you get a little Colleen Historics maybe from Saskatchewan doing some juggling for you?
I'll you know what? Maybe I'll zoom her in and we'll record a little something.
It's worth. I think it's worth.
We
it.
might have to make that happen.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you so much,
All right.
Becky.
Bye,
Appreciate
guys.
you. Congratulations.
Thanks.
Great season. Great series. Toronto falls to the Minnesota Frost for a second straight season, and Minnesota is headed to the Walter Cup final. They'll try to go back-to-back. They'll wait for their opponent. We'll see what happens Friday night between the Ottawa Charge and the Montreal Victoire.
That overtime goal. You want to talk about it a little bit?
Let's do it.
My heart aches because, Troy Ryan even said it. It's going to be an ugly goal. It's going to be something. And every time in overtime, especially when that 4 OT happened with Montreal and Ottawa, I was like, this sucks because it's going to be on someone's error. And unfortunately, in overtime, it's puck management always. I'll preach this until I'm blue in the face. And Toronto had possession. They had possession of the puck. There was a simple pass back up to the blue line. And for whatever reason, that puck completely exploded off of, I believe it was Monroe's stick. It should have been just, I don't know if she was planning on punching it right back down and then second guessed herself, or if the puck truly just exploded, but it like bounced 5 feet off of her stick.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, wait, what happened here? And then all of a sudden, Grace is ripping up the ice, like full head of steam. And in my head, I was thinking, like, we don't really cheer for any team here, just so everyone knows. We just want a good hockey game. And in my head, I was thinking this
The
would be
vibes
really
and the
nice.
chaos we always cheer for.
Yeah, I was like, this would be really nice for Grace. So what a good storyline to have if Grace could finish this off.
Yeah.
And
Great assist in the game.
and that's it, right?
Yeah.
Like, are you mad that Zummy went down and missed it? No, because it ended up turning out in a goal that
So
she ended
sick.
up setting up anyways.
Yeah.
Her and Sophie Jakes, two great players that we're huge fans of, friends of the show, and Taylor Heisey, like just like that. This is what I love about Zumwinkle and Heisey is they are pals off the ice, but they have such good chemistry on the ice as well. And it just made sense that she found. Look at the Selly too. Heisey
She's
on
so
the knees.
epic, man. Like Heisey is such a beast. She's just one of the most interesting people ever. Like every time I hear an interview with her or hear her talk, I'm just so captivated by her. She's so interesting.
Yeah. And I love that Claire Thompson and Lee Steckline were just hugging outside of the scrub as well.
Just having a D moment.
Yeah. And I feel like they're very similar as well. I'm sure that Claire Thompson is learning a lot from Lee Steckline, just on off-ice leadership as well.
100%. Want to bring in Buckles for some
break it down.
additional breakdowns?
Break it
Emma
down now,
Buckles, come on
Bucks.
in. The chat wants you. The chat needs you. Oh, you're wearing stripes today in your merch shop.
Whoa,
Hey,
looking like a
guys.
coder
Whoa,
from
you've-
Harvard.
Yeah. Did you go to Harvard or something?
I'm working on juggling balls currently.
Oh,
We're gonna do
wow.
some
Did you just say
J&J
that?
juggling balls.
That's
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah. That's next up on the
crazy.
merch shop.
All right. You're next on our cancellation list, I think, too, after that.
Yeah.
Oh, that sounds
No,
fun.
Buckles. Tell us
Julia
what's
was in the
going on.
gutter.
What do you want to break down? Minnesota, like I said, beats Toronto. They're going to the Walter Cup final for a second straight year. Like you had the absolute displeasure of playing against this Minnesota team. Doesn't
Yeah.
seem very fun at all.
No, I mean, I had no doubt though. This team, I don't know what it is. I don't know if they drink a different water during playoffs or something. But every other team needs it because clearly they just know how to roll with the pressure, show up when they need to, and yeah, clearly all game long they were like, okay, let's just finish this now. Let's get this over with. We don't want to go back to Toronto. So, great series overall, and props to CJ as well for that pressure and that moment to really take that on and have herself a game as well.
Yeah. Yeah. Players you looking to highlight from this game, Buckles?
So, yeah, the player I'm going to highlight specifically is a D pairing. Shocking how I always look at the D. And it's going to be the Minnesota defenders. Juliet, no laughing.
I didn't say a word. Like, what do you want from me? Buckle, I feel like you're teaming me up. Like, I have to leave. Can someone put me backstage?
Get ready,
leave
Juliet.
her in, Jackie. Leave her in.
No, I'm just kidding. I'm sorry, Buckles. Keep going. You're looking at the D.
And it's got to be Lee Steckline and Claire Thompson.
Yeah.
Nice.
Tossed up 32 plus minutes. Just how over half the game they were out there. And specifically Claire Thompson, she just was always going north with the puck. She was so offensive. And in games like this, you could definitely be on your heels a little bit, knowing that, you want to, keep your team alive and want to protect your goalie, but she just wanted to win tonight, and you could see that she was up in the play, defensively sound, good stick, and overall for 32 minutes played like she was out there for only a few and looked fresh. So yeah,
there's people that can just do that, like Jenny Hirakoski from Finland. She used to play like the entire game and then come back right the next day and play the entire game and look fresher than she did the game before. And it was like, what is that? Like, what is that? How the heck do you do that?
It's
like,
crazy.
Are you supposed to be a marathon runner, not a hockey? I don't know.
It's like she's got 3 hearts.
And you never see them, and that's it. And it's like, everybody gets tired when you get stuck out there sometimes for like, sometimes you're out there for 2.5 minutes. And then you go for your change and you're straight leg skating. Like, I always laugh when people straight leg skate to the bench. I cannot not laugh, even when I'm playing. And even when it's happening to me, like I'm like gasping for air laughing. They never straight leg skate. It's like, well, what? How's that not a thing? They need to be studied. Mm-hmm. They need to be put in some type of scientific study and figure out, because it's insane to me.
Claire especially. Everything about that girl, her brain, just her physical fitness. I remember even back in the day, like she's just
oh really
kids an absolute specimen,
beast.
Yeah,
so cool.
Yeah,
I dig it.
So in looking ahead to the finals, guys, I'll put this to both of you before we wait on our post-game interview here. Who do you think matches up better against Minnesota, Montreal, or Ottawa?
Right now, Ottawa, I think, just because their 4 lines. I think Carla's doing a good job in terms of line matching. Mm-hmm. And I think their 4 lines are given responsibilities and a role and a mission, and they are doing their best to execute said mission. And no one's mad about the role they're given. That's what it seems like to me. And yeah, that's my reasoning.
Absolutely. I would have to echo that exactly. It's the depth that's the key there. And I think that, I would love to see these two battle it off.
Yeah, either way, this is going to set up for a sick Walter Cup final. Oh, okay, Thank you so much, Buckles. We'll get you back in with some questions very soon. We'll continue along to our factor of the game, presented by Factor Meals, Canada's #1 ready-to-eat meal delivery service. Factor, heat, eat, compete. We love Factor meals so much. They get us going. They keep our protein up, our energy up with ready-made meals delivered to our door weekly. And Tessa, let's go with our series-decided factor of the game, presented by Factor Meals.
Talked about her already a couple times. Kellar mentioned her. No surprise here. Nicole Hensley. Hasn't seen action since game 1. Didn't even flinch. Confidence. 26 saves. Punching her team's ticket to the final. Massive saves in overtime and in the third and in the second. I felt like even though pucks were getting past her, she didn't waver. And I feel like her team really let them know that they appreciated her, every save that she made. And I think that it was a solid confidence choice that her coach made, putting her in. And she knew, she got the memo. She knew what was supposed to be done, and she got the job done. She just, one save at a time. All I got to do is make a big save when I have to, and my team will take care of the rest. That's what it felt like. She wasn't trying to do too much. She was just doing her job. And you saw her meet Heisey at center as soon as they scored. Yeah. Like, usually the team's divided, like, oh gosh, do I go to the goalie or do I go to the goal scorer in overtime? And she was like, nah, guys, I'm in here. Let's do it. And I feel like left off the U.S. roster this year. That was a tough pill to swallow, I'm sure. Probably didn't sit well. and still showed up and showed out for her Minnesota team. And I can't wait to talk to her because she's going to be joining us very shortly.
Yes, let's bring her in. Tessa, you just called her the Factor of the game. That again is brought to you by Factor Meals. Heat, eat, compete. Rethink ready-made with Factor. Enjoy fresh, never frozen meals at your door. Okay, let's bring her in, guys. Nicole Hensley. She just punched Minnesota's ticket back to the Walter Cup Finals. Hey, Nicole, congratulations.
Oh, there she is.
Going back to the Walter Cup Final. Can you tell us about... Guys? Yeah, good. Thank you so much.
Well,
not as good as
not
you
as good
right
as
now.
you.
You're definitely better. The first thing I want to ask you about is the moment when Taylor Heisey put that puck in the back of the net. You guys had like a hug me brother moment from across the ice. Tell me what it was like skating into that big dog pile and knowing your team's going back to the finals.
Yeah, I mean, she had a couple chances to end it near the end of the third and then earlier in overtime, and I was just like, all right, third time's a charm, I guess. So yeah, I just kind of was slowly skating up there, and I saw her hit her knees for the celly, and then she slid all the way to me. So then half the team came to me, and I was like, oh, all right, here we go. So no, it was really great to watch our team tonight, and we had a lot of ozone time, and they were really rolling in the third period and overtime. So yeah, it's always a good feeling when you see the puck at the back of the net and can run up there and join them. So.
Can we talk about, you hadn't seen action since game one. Did this game look or feel different than the action you saw in game one?
Yeah, I think a little bit. I think in game one, especially in the first period, Toronto came out so hard in that game. And I think we had just played obviously two really emotional games to even get into the playoffs. And I think that we were a little slow getting going in that game, and they came out just firing, and they're such a good team, and they're so skilled, and they play so hard. Like it felt like tonight both teams didn't quite have their legs under them from the get-go. It felt a little bit slower, just what you expect as you add in the travel and a couple hard-fought games before this. So yeah, you knew it was going to be close, and I honestly did pack extra snacks because I just had a feeling we were going into overtime. So
like on the bench?
No, like in my bag on the way to the rink.
Okay.
Like I packed an extra bar. I was like, I just feel like we're going to overtime tonight.
Can we could ask you, because we were talking about this. What is it with the Frost and the playoffs? Like you really squeaked your way in just to even get a crack at this, and then it's kind of similar to last year. Now you're in the playoffs, and it's like you're the team to beat.
I don't know. I think that we have people on our team that can meet the moment, and have been there in a lot of different ways. Be it Olympic gold medals, world's gold medals, national championships, or people that were on our team last year. We've had a lot of people that have won at a lot of different levels of hockey. And so, I think that I think one of the most underrated leaders on our team is Liz Sheppers. She does everything right every single day. She carries that line, and, she doesn't have to say anything because she does everything right. And, just like at Ohio State, she brings that winning mentality here, and people feed off that. Yeah, so I think she's been so good for us in the playoffs, and a lot of people have. But when you have people like that on your team that they just win. It's what they do. It's like Kendall and Lee. Like if you hang around them long enough, you're probably going to win some games. So yeah, to have people like that on our team is huge.
Yeah, you guys do have some really underrated depth. Like you're talking about winners. Michaela Cava's kind of won everywhere in the past few seasons. Do you think people underrate that about your team, your depth?
I don't know. I think we're just focused on what's in our room, and we know what we have, and we trust every single line, we trust every single D pair, and we trust both goaltenders. So I think that's a big part of why when it comes to this part of the season we seem to have some success is you have to believe that the other people on the ice are going to do their jobs, and that kind of gives you more freedom to just focus on yours. And I think that come this time of year, to be able to rely on everyone helps get the job done.
Yeah. Between the pipes too, like Tessa, I feel like we're about to ask the same thing. Like
you
guys go back and forth between the goalies. You and Maddie have such a cool relationship, and I feel like Ken is part of that too. Like you guys kind of seem to work together, the three of you, to figure out who's going to go between the pipes on a night in, night out basis? Like, it seems like you guys all have a really good relationship. When did you know you were going to play tonight? Was it right after last game? Was it this morning? And what is it like? How do you guys decide who's going to play? I know you personally don't throw your hat in the ring. I know you'd like to play every single night, and goalies want to play every single night, but it seems like you guys got a real thing going in Minnesota.
Yeah, he told me before practice yesterday when we got to the rink. He usually looks at you and goes like, "How you feeling?" And when he asks you that usually means like,
coach.
Yeah, I'm like, what do you think I'm gonna say? Like bad? Like I would never tell you that even if I was. But yeah, so you kind of know when he asks you that, like, oh, okay, it's probably me. And I don't know. So yeah, I think Maddie and I have been goalie partners since like 2017. And when she first joined the national team, we were roommates at a lot of our events. So we've just been really close for a long time. I think while we play a lot differently, we look at the game very similarly. And so I think that it kind of helps to just know what helps each other get better, and we're pretty honest with each other. And but we know there's nobody, you know, it's so nice to have her in my corner and me in hers. And you know, like one of the first people to give me a hug when I walked upstairs is her family. So it's not just us, it's the families too. So you know, we've been at it for a long time. So yeah, it's just a lot of fun.
Ken Klee, your head coach, had said second intermission, I believe it was, where, all right, ladies, we said it before the game, we need to win the third period. We're all bought in. Let's get it done. Let's get it done, which is awesome. I was like, as soon as I heard that, I'm like, oh man, I would love to play for that guy. He seems like he knows what to say, when to say, you know, has everybody in the right mind frame. But what did he say anything to the locker room before overtime? Did you guys feel like we got him right where we want him? Like, what was the sentiment there?
I don't know. I think our room was pretty chatty and pretty up. I think when the locker room's talking, it usually means that everyone's feeling good about the direction where the team's going in. So I think that's kind of how it was going into overtime. And it's kind of, you're looking around the room like, all right, who wants it? Like, who's going to be the hero tonight? And I think everyone has that mentality that, like, you know, if the opportunity comes to me, I'm gonna do it for the team. And I think you know, we just wanted to get it done and be able to have a day or two at home. I think that's big for us right now, but we need to keep this mentality going. It's not a big break. We still have a lot of work to do. So getting the rest, but being ready to go for the next round.
Do you guys feel as unstoppable as you look right now? It doesn't feel like anything can slow you guys down.
It doesn't feel like anything phases you guys. You're just like, oh, you're going to put up 3. Cool. We got 3 and then we'll get 4. And
like it's just, you roll at this time of year.
Yeah, I think it was a real testament to our team today. We were down 2 and immediately go down and get a goal. And I think that
14 seconds, I think
it was so quick. And I think like that line, you know, was clicking tonight. So for them to go down there and do that, and that, I think really, if that hadn't happened right away, like probably we're looking at a different situation tonight. And so I think that, you know, again, like you trust, you know, those people to do their job. You trust Kendall Coyne and Taylor Heisey to get their job done, and Michaela Kava as well. Like you trust those 3 to get the job done. That's why they're on that line. And I don't know. I think we just got to keep working and keep playing the right way, and hopefully we can continue that in the next series.
Last ask before we let you go, Sally, with the team and sleep in, because we heard you guys get to sleep in tomorrow, which is awesome. Emma Buckles wears her bun based on her mood. Is your bun super high? Is that a win bun?
It's just this is where it ended up bun, so it's not on my neck. But
the vibes are high. It's really high on your head. That's how I'm starting to judge PWHL players and their joy is based on where their bun sits on their head. It's this new theory I'm working on, and you're supporting it right now. So. Yeah,
you're so owning it. You're just backing everything that we make up.
That's a happy bun. Like you cannot be sad with that bun. That bun is perky.
I'll keep that in mind.
Buckles is so jealous right now. Buckles, come on in. She thought she had a good high bun. Look at Buckles' bun. Hers is so lame compared to yours.
See, like you're not even that good of a mood. You're like just kind of like in a whatever
I can't even see it.
Give it a side shot.
There it is. Okay.
It blends in with the merch. I'm sorry. Let me go.
Hey, you know we got merch?
There it
We're
is,
selling
there it
merch now,
Yeah.
Nicole, just so you know. And
We'll have to
Locals
send
is
you a little
peddling it
something,
in her
something.
little stand. Okay, Nicole Hensley, everybody, thank you
Sonnet
so
for
much for
life. Way to
hopping
go,
on with
Nick.
us.
Thanks for having
Punches
me.
their ticket to the Walter Cup final. Backstops her team to the win. Congratulations. Enjoy it, girl.
Thank
High
you.
bun for life.
This is a thing. This is a study that
Swear
we
to God.
need someone to dig into. How
The
happy
buns
people
correlate
are.
to mood.
Julie,
Swear to
I'm
God.
really glad that you're diving in on the important topics that people are thinking
I
behind this light right
am.
now.
People are wondering about this.
You sent some pretty interesting questions. People are wondering about coaching change in Toronto. I don't think so. I think they're looking at, I think moments like this, because they were right there, in my opinion. And I think moments like this help you figure out, okay, where are the holes in the team? How do we need to draft? Or do we think we have holes in the team? Was it an underperformance? No, I don't think it was an underperformance. People are asking if Reagan Kirk was healthy. Could that have been a difference maker? I mean, I think CJ did as much as she could to help her team win. Could Reagan have made some of those saves? I have no idea. That is such a hypothetical.
You'll never know. You'll never know.
know. Like, I don't know if Reagan would have stopped those, right? The game's fast. Like, if you go to a PWHL game and you're watching from up high, you're like, man, this game's quick. And then you sit down by the glass, you're like, oh my good God. I remember my first PWHL game watching, actually that's a lie, not the first one, but into the first season, and going down by the glass and thinking, even if I wanted so badly to come back and play and get back to training and trying, there is no way. Like, this is fast, good hockey. I'm a Shirley girly. That's it. That's what I am. I am totally committed to beer and wings and hockey. That's
100%.
It's so fast. So I'm not sure. I do not think there'll be a coaching change. They're going to lose a lot of pieces, and these teams are going to have to draft. They're going to have to start doing homework on the entire draft eligibility list and start figuring out how to plug in the holes that they need once they figure out what players they're losing. This is going to be wild. This is going to be a really important draft, by the way, for the future of a lot of these franchises.
Yeah. We have this in our lineup. We were going to talk about it at some point, but lots of people are asking about the Defender of the Year finalists being announced. Congratulations, Renata Fast, Claire Thompson, Sophie Jakes.
It's wild.
Shalina Toronto is asking about
Toronto.
Oh yeah, they're all
going
from
they're Toronto-based.
Greater
girls.
Toronto area girls.
GTA girlies.
Yeah.
Get
Pump it
up.
out, defenders.
Yeah.
Yeah, seriously. But Shalina was asking about if the pendulum will ever swing back to recognize shutdown D/stay-at-home D.
Like Steckline?
Like Steckline, like Erin Ambrose. I know she won last year. She didn't put up any goals this year, but she had a great season defensively. Like,
I think it goes back to the same question I asked, a defender of the year. Are you going with the defender that contributed both offensively and defensively? The way I look at it is, okay, of these three defenders that are up there, which one played their role to perfection?
I think this is Renata Fast
Consistently.
award. Like
100% Renata.
Yeah.
And Renata should be in the MVP conversation as well. I'll say
Absolutely.
that.
I think she would.
Renata almost scored a couple times. Hensley, there was one play. Was it in overtime or was it in the third?
I think it was OT. I think, I think she almost
Hensley
called
was like
game.
down with her glove.
Yeah.
I was like, yo, what's Renata doing down there? How'd she get down there? I had no
Good for
idea.
her, though, man. I hope she's having fun down there. I don't know how it happened. Yeah.
Oh man.
But
she
honestly,
just teleports.
I think it is interesting to see how the game has evolved, though. And I don't know if the stay-at-home D is going to be, how we perceive defenders and how we evaluate them. I think it is something to be said about the offensive-minded defenders being on the rise.
There's still place for it, though. Yeah.
But if you look, Claire Thompson's got an offensive mind. She plays with Lee Steckline. Every offensive defender absolutely needs a stay-at-home defender that is smart and puck moving. Yeah.
Yeah. So those were actually the three top scoring defenders in the league this year. So the crowd that's like, oh, you give it to
for whatever reason.
Points. Yeah, I know. I hate it on the NHL side too. On the NHL side, I've been saying when I used to host radio, I remember I went on a whole tirade of why there should just be a separate award for defensive defender of the year. And
just lockdown defender.
The same on this side.
That's a good point, Julia.
Thanks. I appreciate that.
We could make that a Jilly.
We can make that a Jilly. We absolutely should.
Jilly Awards.
Yeah. Guys, we're going to have...
It's going to be a thing.
Send us ideas for awards because we are coming up with a spoof off the actual PWHL awards. Like Tessa and I are going to do some late night awards. maybe mixed in a little bit throughout the ceremonies, but we want to give out some silly awards at the PWHL Awards. So send us any ideas you have for those. We'll obviously post all of them. We won't keep them a secret from you guys.
Should host it at a bar.
Should be hosted at a bar, definitely. That is the vibe. You guys got anything else on? I'm sure we'll talk more about Toronto's season, Minnesota's win. Anything we didn't touch tonight before we keep going here?
No, I think we covered it all.
You guys
it was
really
great.
did, yeah.
Thank you to Nicole for jumping in and chatting with us. That was awesome.
Yeah, seriously. Okay, before we get to previewing what might happen Friday night between Ottawa and Montreal, we want to take a moment to tell you about a very special cause. The 14th annual Princess Margaret Road Hockey to Conquer Cancer Fueled by Longos is coming up this September 27th at Vaughan Metropolitan Center. It's a big one-day tournament, over 1,800 participants, 150 teams coming together to fundraise for cancer research and obviously play road hockey alongside draftable celebrities. Some PWHL stars. Blair Turnbull's going to be there. Renata Fass. There's going to be NHL alumni there. Maybe your favorite Jocks and Jules co-hosts will be there. Maybe we'll throw the elbows up on you at some point if you register your own team. And if you are registering a team, guys, go to roadhockeytoconquercancer.ca and use promo code PWHL for 50% off the team registration fee. We were talking about it like for a long time last night. This is one of my favorite events that I do every single year. It is road hockey, like on the biggest scale you can imagine it. And Tessa, you and I were talking yesterday about how no one is low key about it. Like, you register your team and you are going to play. And Buckles, fortunately, we have signed you up. We have volunteered you to be on the PWHL staff team. We just announced that you are our top draft pick right now, so you will be playing on our team. PWHL has a team. Everybody was kind of sending emails. We're going to be there, and we're really excited for the Road Hockey to Conquer Cancer. Princess Margaret's Road Hockey to Conquer Cancer. So make sure you guys just register online, roadhockeytoconquercancer.ca. Use promo code PWHL for 50% off your team's registration fee. Okie dokie, guys. Game 4, Ottawa, Montreal, Friday night, TD Place. The Thirsty Peddler will be doing laps, and so will I. I'm just kidding. We're not coming to Ottawa. We're not going to jinx you guys.
Don't do that.
Everyone just was going to the chat right there.
Everyone was going to like absolutely cancel us. I'm really excited for this game. Did you guys see Marie-Philippe Poulin's post-game interview?
She got poo face going.
Oh, poo face. She wouldn't even show it. She had her hat covering her face mostly, and she'd like poke out from under her hat like this to answer questions and then go back down. She had poo face
went back
on.
into her hole.
And guys, you know, if you listen to Tessa and I all the time, you know poo face is a compliment, because when you see poo face, you know you're getting scary poo.
It's like
in
Blair
the aftermath.
face.
Exactly. The most iconic poo face, I've said this a million times, but in Unica last year when she got that penalty and she was in the penalty box and she was standing.
Terrifying.
Yeah. And we all know what she did that game. I'm so pumped for this game between Ottawa and Montreal. We've seen what the crowd at TD Place could do, and we've seen what both of these teams could do. We've seen how well matched they are. What are we thinking happens? Does Montreal lose in the semifinals for a second straight season? Does Ottawa close things out on home ice, win 2 in a row against the top seed? What are we thinking, guys? How are we feeling?
I'm going to say Montreal. This is going to be a super crazy close game. I don't even think it's going to be high scoring because none of these games have been, but so I'm not really saying anything groundbreaking here, but Montreal, and I think it's regulation. I don't think it's overtime.
Okay.
Going off of that, I need you guys to stay with me for a second. The people in the comments.
And Buckles, by the way, let's give you your flowers. You've been absolutely serving on your picks and your predictions to the point that you picked Heisey to score the overtime winner.
Yeah, you did.
So everyone, Jackie, I think we need some claps for Buckles. Like, Buckles is really predicting the future, everyone. Yeah. Now, she didn't predict the 4 overtime game, so that was me. Don't forget that.
I'm not a witch. Like Julia.
Yeah, no. I'm a witch. Buckles just actually knows about hockey. So those are two different things.
No, I'm merch. But okay, so Ottawa fans. You know what? I can't predict the future, but I'm gonna say Montreal wins tomorrow, but Ottawa's taking it in game 5.
Whoa.
I'm gonna I gotta make it known
Because
now.
last year the 2 lower seeds went to the final. Is that why?
No, it's something about OTT hockey right now. I just love what they're doing, but seeing Pooh face makes me a little bit nervous as well.
Yeah.
So
That's me, right?
There's
That's
gonna
it.
be quite the battle back tomorrow.
Yeah, man, we just saw how well Gabby Hughes played Poulin. Like
I know.
Loved it.
Dominated that matchup is really aggressive. Like I want to take that out of the universe. This is a live show. She didn't dominate that matchup, but she played the hell out of her. She
did her job.
Was in her face all night. She made her job really, really hard. Yeah, Gabby Hughes really took control of Marie-Philippe Poulin in Game 3. My prediction is also that Ottawa ends the series on. My prediction is that Ottawa ends the series on Friday night. I just realized that I was the only one that predicted that.
You were.
So that is my guess. I'm not going to guess if it's going to be in regulation or overtime, but to your point, Buckles, OTT hockey right now, the girls are just absolutely buzzing. They seem like they're having fun with it too. I wish I could find who said that in our chat. It was someone, I read through so many of our comments today. It was on like YouTube or maybe in our DMs, but somebody pointed out it really looks like Ottawa's having fun and it really looks like Montreal is stressed out. And it's impossible not to be. Like Montreal is in a stressful situation, but I read that message and I was like, you know what? There's something to that. It does seem like Ottawa's having fun with this.
Now, hold on. They're both in stressful situations.
Oh, yeah.
Because I think coaches on both sides feel like they need to win to keep their jobs. It's just a matter of like, how are you digesting the emotion that you're feeling and what are you turning it into, right?
Yeah.
Ottawa's having fun because they love frustrating a powerhouse team like Montreal. That is fun. It's fun getting in the best player in the world's kitchen. Is it not fun shutting down and getting in someone's head? Like, as a former player who was a pain in the ass, I love nothing more than making people upset. That was my favorite thing. Quick whack on top of the laces in front, whack behind the legs after a whistle quickly, little nudge when you change, little things like that that really wear on the mental game that you play. And it's kind of like having siblings. Who doesn't love annoying the hell out of your sibling? That's what this is. And you're the one laughing and they're the one getting mad. And the more mad they get, the more fun and the funnier it is. That's where Ottawa's coming from. Montreal's got to find a way to flip that script. And the way to do that is offensive prowess. By let them do that and then just laugh and look up at the scoreboard and go change. That's what that has to be. Like, you're welcome. It's got to be a you're welcome. We let you stick around this long. That's what it needs to be. That's the mentality. You got to come out with that swagger. Hold on, guys. We finished first. We're the team.
Yep.
Like,
well, is that the kiss of death or what? Having to choose your opponent. Like, it kind of
that's the other thing.
Proving to
do people not want that
great
anymore? It's like the NHL. President's Trophy has never won the Stanley Cup. Do you want that?
Yeah.
A question from one of our people in the chat said, in your opinion, how is Montreal's regular season game compared to their playoff game, and whether they have the depth to secure this series?
I think they do. The depth. I'm going to say it again. They just need to change things up in the lineup. Like, change the lineup a little to get something out of your depth, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Who do you want to see sparks? Like, how do you spark these players, and who are you looking for specifically?
Well, I said it before. I feel like Boreen needs to be like,
this is her time to arrive, man.
O'Neill was on that top line last year. I'm not saying she needs to be there. Throw her with Boreen. See what happens there, or Gardner, or whoever. I don't know who Boreen meshes with best, but whoever it is, toss them on that line. Other person, move down. And if Gardner needs to be taken off that top line, you tell her, like, you're not being demoted. You're being promoted to this line to lift them up. We need a 1A and a 1B. We don't need a line 1, line 2, line 3. Like, we need a 1A and 1B to be successful here. And then we need line 3, line 4 to be like the Skimura line tonight. I thought was great in not only creating chances, but hemming Minnesota. And they need them to do that job. Like, you guys need to be energy eaters. Go out there, get the puck behind their D, make their D go in, and just run them through the back wall. Like, that's what your third and fourth lines are supposed to be doing. Crash the net. Make the goalie hate you. Start a scuffle. Don't care. Just do that. That's what you need. And like Kath Dubois her line's capable of it. I think her line's going good, but they need all 4 to be doing something like that. Ottawa's got all 4. They know their jobs. They know the job description that they have to do every game, and they're all executing it to perfection. That's why they're having fun. And they're all bought into it as well. And they're A-okay and fine with it.
Mm-hmm. It's like a factory line. They're just all producing at the exact same times. It's great.
Yeah. The leadership in Montreal needs to lead the way on body language and stop talking to the referees.
Yeah, it's way too much.
That's out of your control. Control the things you can control. That's where your energy is going. Because once one starts barking, all the other lines are all of a sudden distracted and barking by it. Doesn't matter. What's the call? I got a penalty? Cool. Let's go kill it, ladies. Cool. Hell, get a jailbreak. Get me out of here. That's how you're approaching it. Yeah. Right? That's how Ottawa was approaching it. They killed off that 5-on-3. Same with Montreal at one time. But I'm just saying, this is the mentality. Oh, is this the position we're in? Cool. We're capable. Let's go do it.
It does seem like the energy and the focus is a little bit all over the place and not where it needs to be.
100%. No one, Corey, set the rule. No one's talking to the refs. Don't care. Shut your mouth. If I see you talking, you're sitting on the bench for a shift. That needs to be the rule, because your focus is the game. Play the game. And whatever position you're in, whatever, if they call a 5 and whatever, cool. You know, if there was a hand on the puck and they missed it, don't care. Go get another one. It's what's next? What are we doing next? What's next, guys? That's the focus. It's nothing else. Enough with everything else.
Yeah.
Well, it was a good night. I felt like we had a good show. We talked about a lot.
There was a lot to go through, guys. Oh, here's CJ juggling.
You want me doing this?
So I've never done this before, but I'm going to do it on live air.
Oh,
what do you have there, big dog?
2 eggs and a baseball.
Are you kidding?
It should go very smoothly.
Eggs?
Well,
no, you're not even at your house.
Okay.
You're at Jack. Okay.
Yeah, Jackie gave me.
She's at the merch shop.
I know, but I was like, don't get an egg on Jackie's stuff. Like, that's rude.
No. Oh.
That was actually
Careful
not bad.
Of the merch.
Can you try again?
Pretty good.
One more.
No, it's gonna look like a frat guy going after a ping pong ball on the floor if I start scrambling for these balls right now.
I know. Why is that so embarrassing? It's like the most embarrassing thing ever to do. Like to chase a little ping pong ball across the room.
But I will.
And
have
you're always wearing
tomorrow.
socks too. Like it's just such an embarrassing situation to be in.
Oh boy. Well, this has been fun, ladies.
Okay, yeah, we're at that point of the night. Thank you guys for joining us. We appreciate every single one of you for coming in, chatting with us, asking questions, enjoying PWHL hockey. We are sorry, Scepters fans. Your season ends a little bit early for a second straight year. Congratulations, Minnesota Frost and your fans. You're going to a second straight Walter Cup final. It's going to be a heck of a battle between Minnesota and whatever team between Montreal and Ottawa punches their ticket to the final. Again, Montreal and Ottawa go Friday night. We'll be right here again live on the PWHL's YouTube page, breaking that whole game down. We'll see what happens. Can Ottawa end this thing? Could Montreal make it a little bit longer? I don't know, guys. We'll see. Thank you to our sponsors, SharkNinja, Factor, CCM, Pizza. Love you guys. Thank you for helping us put this on. Thank you to Becky Kellar for hopping on. Thank you so much, Nicole Hensley, for hopping on. Minnesota for coordinating that. And everybody at the PWHL for coordinating that. Enjoy tomorrow, and we will talk Friday post-game.